Formula 1. Formula 1, more commonly known as Formula 1 or F1, is the highest class of international racing for open-wheel single-seater formula racing cars sanctioned by the Fédération Internationale de l'Automobile, FIA. The FIA Formula 1 World Championship has been one of the premier forms of racing around the world since its inaugural season in 1950. The word formula in the name refers to the set of rules to which all participants' cars must conform. A Formula 1 season consists of a series of races, known as Grand Prix. Grand Prix take place in multiple countries and continents around the world on either purpose-built circuits or closed public roads. A points system is used at Grand Prix to determine two annual world championships, one for the drivers, and one for the constructors, the teams. Each driver must hold a valid super license, the highest class of racing license issued by the FIA. And the races must be held on tracks graded 1, the highest grade rating issued by the FIA for tracks. History. Formula 1 originated from the European Motor Racing Championships of the 1920s and 1930s. The formula consists of a set of rules that all participants' cars must follow. Formula 1 was a new formula agreed upon during 1946 with the first non-championship races taking place during that year. The first Formula 1 Grand Prix was the 1946 Turin Grand Prix. A number of Grand Prix racing organizations had laid out rules for a motor racing world championship before World War II, but due to the suspension of racing during the conflict, the World Drivers' Championship did not become formalized until 1947. The first World Championship race took place at the Silverstone Circuit in the United Kingdom on the 13th of May 1950. Giuseppe Farina, competing for Alfa Romeo, won the first Drivers' World Championship, narrowly defeating his teammate Juan Manuel Fangio. Fangio went on to win the championship in 1951, 1954, 1955, 1956, and 1957. This set the record for the most world championships won by a single driver. A record that stood for 46 years until Michael Schumacher won his sixth championship in 2003. Race. The race begins with a warm-up lap, after which the cars assemble on the starting grid in the order they qualified. This lap is often referred to as the formation lap, as the cars lap in formation with no overtaking, although a driver who makes a mistake may regain lost ground. The warm-up lap allows drivers to check the condition of the track and their car, gives the tires a chance to warm up to increase traction and grip, and also gives the pit crews time to clear themselves and their equipment from the grid for the race start. Once all the cars have formed on the grid, after the medical car positions itself behind the pack, a light system above the track indicates the start of the race. 5 red lights are illuminated at intervals of 1 second. They are all then extinguished simultaneously after an unspecified time, typically less than 3 seconds, to signal the start of the race. The start procedure may be abandoned if a driver stalls on the grid or on the track in an unsafe position, signaled by raising their arm. If this happens, the procedure restarts. A new formation lap begins with the offending car removed from the grid. The race may also be restarted in the event of a serious accident or dangerous conditions, with the original start voided. The race may be started from behind the safety car if race control feels a racing start would be excessively dangerous, such as extremely heavy rainfall. As of the 2019 season, there will always be a standing restart. If due to heavy rainfall a start behind the safety car is necessary, then after the track has dried sufficiently, drivers will form up for a standing start. There is no formation lap when races start behind the safety car. Every team in Formula 1 must run 2 cars in every session in a Grand Prix weekend, and every team may use up to 4 drivers in a season. A team may also run 2 additional drivers in free practice sessions, which are often used to test potential new drivers for a career as a Formula 1 driver or gain experienced drivers to evaluate the car. Most drivers are contracted for at least the duration of a season, with driver changes taking place in between seasons, in comparison to early years when drivers often competed on an ad hoc basis from race to race. Each competitor must be in the possession of a FIA super license to compete in a Grand Prix 106, which is issued to drivers who have met the criteria of success in junior motorsport categories and having achieved 300 kilometers, 190 miles, of running in a Formula 1 car. Drivers may also be issued a super license by the World Motor Sport Council if they fail to meet the criteria. 106. Although most drivers earn their seat on ability, commercial considerations also come into play with teams having to satisfy sponsors and financial demands. Teams also can track, test and reserve drivers to stand in for regular drivers when necessary and develop the team's car. Although with the reduction on testing, the reserve driver's role mainly takes place on a simulator, such as rFactor Pro, which is used by most of the F1 teams. Here are some more facts and information about F1 racing. The first F1 race was held in 1950 at Silverstone, UK. Since then, F1 has become one of the world's most popular and prestigious racing series, with millions of fans around the globe. F1 cars are some of the fastest and most technologically advanced racing cars in the world. They can reach speeds of up to 230 miles per hour, 370 kilometers per hour, and are powered by 1.6-liter V6 hybrid engines that produce over 1,000 horsepower. F1 races take place on specially designed circuits that vary in length and complexity. Each race is typically around 190 miles, 305 kilometers, long and lasts for about 2 hours. F1 is a team sport, with each team consisting of 2 drivers and a number of support staff, including engineers, mechanics, and strategists. The teams are responsible for designing, building, and maintaining their own cars. The F1 season consists of a series of races, or Grand Prix, held at different tracks around the world. The driver who accumulates the most points over the course of the season is crowned the F1 World Champion. Some of the most successful F1 drivers of all time include Michael Schumacher, Ayrton Senna, Alain Prost, and Lewis Hamilton. These drivers have won multiple championships and are considered legends of the sport. F1 is a highly competitive and demanding sport that requires exceptional skill, speed, and endurance. Drivers must be able to perform under extreme pressure and make split-second decisions while driving at high speeds. F1 has a large and dedicated fan base around the world, with millions of viewers tuning in to watch each race. The sport also generates significant revenue through ticket sales, merchandise, and sponsorships. F1 racing is heavily regulated, with a strict set of rules and regulations that govern everything from the design of the cars to the conduct of the drivers. This is done in order to ensure fair competition and promote safety on the track. F1 cars are designed to be as aerodynamic as possible, with intricate wings, spoilers, and other features that help to reduce air resistance and improve performance. They are also equipped with advanced electronic systems that allow the driver to adjust various settings on the car in real time. In addition to the drivers and teams, F1 racing also involves a large number of officials, including race directors, stewards, and marshals. These officials are responsible for ensuring that the rules are followed and that the race is conducted safely. F1 racing is a global sport, with races held in countries around the world. Some of the most famous F1 tracks include Monza in Italy, Spa-Francorchamps in Belgium, and the Circuit de Monaco. In addition to the F1 World Championship, there are also a number of other competitions and events associated with F1 racing, including the F2 and F3 championships, as well as the prestigious Monaco Grand Prix. F1 racing has been the subject of controversy and criticism over the years, particularly with regards to the high cost of participation and the environmental impact of the sport. However, efforts are being made to address these issues, with a focus on improving sustainability and reducing carbon emissions. F1 racing is a dynamic and exciting sport that continues to evolve and grow in popularity around the world. With new technology and innovations constantly being developed, it is likely that F1 racing will continue to push the limits of what is possible in the world of motorsport.